Welcome back, viewers at home. We are about to get started on an amazing, much anticipated conversation between myself as well as Loyiso Manga, who is the founder of Ubuntu Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Now, one thing I'm looking forward to understanding his journey as well as some of the challenges he had to navigate to become a success story that he is tonight. Good evening, Loyiso, and thank you so much for joining us here on INX Prime.
Good evening to you and your listeners. I'm quite excited to be here.
Now, can you just tell us a bit about who is Loyiso Manga, just for viewers at home to get more familiar with the incredible prominent founder of Ubuntu Extra Virgin Olive Oil?
No, certainly. I was born in Utenake in Kariga. Utenake. Went to school in Port Elizabeth and grew up in Grahamstown. I think at the center of everything that I do now is the fact that I was born I grew up in a family that does business and also agriculture. So yeah, that speaks to a lot of things that I do currently. Yeah, and I'm currently in Cape Town.
Now, just listening to you speak in various interviews and certain interview articles that are out there with regards to your incredible story, can you tell viewers at home what truly inspired you to, want to venture into the olive oil industry? Because initially, I believe you were working for an insurance company and you bolted that and you were like, you know what, this is not for me. I'm not happy. I need to do something that gives me that joy. And you were also anticipating into looking into, working in the NGO sector, amongst other things. Can you just tell us a bit about what brought you to the olive oil industry?
I'd forgotten actually that I wanted to go into the NGO sector, but you've clearly done your homework. I think the one thing that made me want to get into it is because I've always wanted to add value. I always wanted to become a man of value in my community. I'm all about legacy building. I'm all about generational wealth. I'm all about people owning their own freedom and living their dreams. You only live once, I believe. So you want to live it according to your own rules. So I'm a bit of a maverick. I'm a bit of I dare myself a lot to do things. So it was, I suppose, venturing into the unknown, going into an industry which was predominantly white, old owned. So yeah, that was exciting. And it was quite a challenge, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. We're quite proud of ourselves and where we've come. So yeah, daring to dream, I guess, and going into the adventure of the unknown. I think that's what inspired me to get into it.
Now, we know that the greatest understanding when it comes to farming is always associated with, the white individuals, if I can say so. But for someone who, amongst many other individuals, who just sort of redirected that narrative to say, you know what, farming is for everyone who has the heart and who has the passion for it. What would you say were some of your challenges entering into the space? Because I believe you were the first black person to be in the olive oil industry.
Yeah, so I like to tread carefully on that because when I got in there were definitely no people there. Maybe there could have been, someone once said to me, "You must be careful of how you say you are the first black owned. Eh? You must say the first black owned commercial olive oil because you'll get someone 20 years ago who pressed 5, 10 bottles and he gave it to his friends and family, and that was it. So yeah, I think for me, it's all about groundbreaking stuff and letting people know that getting into agriculture, you are not born with a gene that makes you an agriculturalist. We all aspire to be in the agricultural space. We all aspire to be in the agricultural space, and I think for me that's one of the key learnings is that we must be adventurous and we must try get into different sectors of the market, and we want to have part of that pie also. We also want to participate. So yeah, I think that answers that.
Now, I know the excitement towards this conversation really got the better of me that I even forgot to congratulate you. I mean, you won in 2019 a gold when it comes to, the competition of the New York International Olive Oil Competition, as well as this year you got yourself a silver. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Quite exciting.
Now, can you tell us a bit about, Ubuntu, or if I can say EVOO? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, in terms of the
Yes, yes.
process of, farming the olives and, harvesting them amongst processing them into an olive oil. Can you just take us through that process?
Yeah, so EVO stands for extra virgin olive oil. And the pressing is called cold pressed. And that, so we basically would pick the olives from the trees, we'd press them. That first press, that first press is called extra virgin olive oil because that's what has all of the polyphenols and all of the health compounds that make olive oil so premium and so elite, and it's the top of the range of the olive oils. Then the second press then becomes that of olive oil, etc. And how we do is that we buy in our olive oils and we blend them, and we bottle them. We buy bottles here, we buy caps here, we buy labels, and we basically process everything in a plant in Wellington, and that's sort of our value chain at the moment, and it works for us. But we are praying that in the next couple of months at least we'll be in a farm. I think that's the end goal. Is that's what we want to do? Is we want to own the value chain,
Now,
and we want to have a place where you can come and visit the home of Ubuntu. Yes.
amazing, amazing, amazing indeed. Now, for viewers at home who are all about understanding the brand, what would you say sets, Ubuntu EVOO away or apart from other olive oils out there?
I think we've got quite a unique story. We've got a story of transformation, where we've got a story of a young person of color getting into an industry and being one of the top selling brands at a top selling retail like Woolworths. Our story, I think, for us serves as an inspiration to many people, both black and white in this country, who are unemployed, who are going through their own challenges. And it just goes to show that things do happen and dreams do come alive. So I think our unique selling point is that we sell a premium olive oil, which is South African grown, South African labeled, and South African produced, and it's a quality olive oil also. And it just so happens that quite a lot of people appreciate our journey and will support us based on our journey and our story.
Now, considering your initial dreams of wanting to be part of the NGO sector, or something that you spoke on, and if I can just quote on that, you said that you want to be part of something that will bring about tangible change. What would you say Ubuntu does in terms of its philanthropic initiatives, if there are any?
Yeah, so I remember when we had a large abundance of olive oil, we donated it to the Haven, which is a home shelter that we are part of. And a lot of olive oil we donated to children's homes for soup kitchens and all of those things. So whenever we do have sufficient stock, we feel free to give that out. I also do some mentoring also to young boys who come from single parents. I go to schools, I talk about our journey and motivate the boys. And yeah, even those who are entrepreneurs, we always offer ourselves to those who are starting off their small businesses, and hopefully they draw lessons from what we are doing at the moment.
Just to ask you a closing question for this evening, I want to know from you in terms of what words of advice would you share or impart to our viewers tonight, as well as where can individual get a hold of your product, as well as where is it available, and how can we actually know that this is the Ubuntu brand?
So I'll start from the end. So we are at Takealot. We're at Takealot at the moment. We launched about 2 weeks ago. We're quite excited about that. And our price there it's 249 rand, but that includes delivery, and that's possibly the cheapest that you'll get it anywhere else. You can also get it on my website, www.ubuntuevoo.com, or you can just say Ubuntu Observation Olive, you'll find it. My words of motivation, I think, let's be hungry and intentional about wanting to live our dreams. Let's be ready to make those sacrifices. We are the generation that needs to create a difference going forward, and we must be confident in ourselves and by ourselves to ensure that we are better people in our communities at large, and in our families. And yeah, I think starting your own thing or having it as a side hustle does offer some financial freedom, and that's what we want. We want generational wealth and we want financial freedom.
Loyiso, thank you so much for joining us this evening and just imparting us with words that will carry us through the years, through the days, so that we understand that we all can, have a chance and an opportunity to building that generational wealth and, breaking barriers that are sometimes even created by us ourselves. But thank you so much for joining us this evening.
Thank you very much. Shukran.
I mean. Viewers at home, that was my guest this evening, Loyiso, sharing in his journey as well as some of his inspiring pointers when it comes to him entering the olive oil industry. Now, we know that Ayla did highlight the fact that, when it comes to the olive oil industry in South Africa, it's not as highly as subsidized as those in countries like that of Spain and Italy. And I think each time we, spend to such a very beautiful business or cause, it really speaks positively to our economy holistically. But viewers at home, that's where we close it for tonight. Make sure you do get yourself a bottle of olive oil.